Secret Saturn V. Launch, 1969. In the summer of 1969, as the world watched in awe as Apollo 11 carried Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins toward history, another launch was taking place, one that the public was never meant to know about. While millions of eyes were glued to the televised countdown of the Apollo 11 mission, a parallel operation was unfolding in complete secrecy. Buried beneath layers of classified government programs, this secret Saturn V launch was not bound for the moon, but for a destination far more mysterious and potentially more dangerous. What this mission discovered has been kept hidden for over 5 decades, and its implications could shatter everything we think we know about space exploration. The origins of this covert mission can be traced back to the early 1960s, when NASA's Apollo program was at the forefront of America's effort to win the space race. But behind the scenes, a highly classified division of NASA, working in tandem with the Department of Defense and the CIA, had uncovered anomalous signals emanating from the far side of the moon, signals that suggested an unknown presence was observing Earth. These signals, detected by high-frequency monitoring stations, were unlike anything encountered before. They pulsed with rhythmic precision, as if they were a form of communication, or perhaps a warning. By 1968, intelligence analysts had pieced together enough data to warrant a response, but they knew that a public mission would attract too much attention. What was needed was a covert operation, one that could be hidden in plain sight. The solution: a secret Saturn V launch, disguised as a routine Apollo test mission. But this mission, known only by its classified code name Project Prometheus, had a far more dangerous objective. Launched just days before Apollo 11, the secret Saturn V rocket carried an unmanned probe equipped with cutting-edge surveillance technology and experimental propulsion systems derived from classified extraterrestrial research. Its destination was not the moon, but an unknown object that had been detected orbiting just beyond the moon's gravitational influence, an object that defied all known trajectories and whose origin was unknown. Classified documents later described this object as the Sentinel, a structure that appeared to be of artificial origin, silently observing Earth from a distance that kept it hidden from conventional detection. As the secret Saturn V mission approached its target, what it discovered was beyond comprehension. The Sentinel was not just an object. It was a station, an ancient construct that had been monitoring Earth for millennia. Its surface was covered in strange, geometric patterns that pulsed with an energy signature unlike anything known to modern science. But what was most alarming was that the Sentinel was not dormant. As the probe approached, sensors indicated a sudden activation, an energy surge that suggested the station was coming online, responding to the probe's presence. The probe's telemetry captured data that stunned those monitoring the mission. The Sentinel appeared to be emitting signals directed not toward Earth, but outward, into deep space. The chilling realization dawned on those who had orchestrated the mission. The Sentinel had not just been observing Earth. It had been waiting for something, and now it was sending a message. Before the probe could gather more data, an unknown force disabled its systems. Contact was lost, and the classified mission was officially declared a failure. But those who had seen the initial data knew the truth. The Sentinel had been awakened, and its message had been transmitted. But to whom? And for what purpose? To prevent mass panic and maintain global stability, the existence of the secret Saturn V launch and its findings were buried beneath layers of classified programs. The public narrative focused solely on Apollo 11, and the world was allowed to believe that humanity's first steps on the moon were the most significant event of 1969. But those who knew the truth understood that a far greater event had unfolded. A signal had been sent into the unknown, and humanity had no idea what kind of response it might receive. In the years that followed, classified surveillance systems continued to monitor deep space for any signs of a response. By the 1980s, anomalous signals began to be detected. Faint echoes, barely distinguishable from background radiation, but consistent enough to raise alarm within the intelligence community. These signals suggested that something was moving toward the solar system, but their origin and purpose remained a mystery. Today, as humanity ventures deeper into space and prepares for manned missions to the Moon and Mars, the implications of that secret launch in 1969 continue to haunt those who were part of Project Prometheus. The Sentinel's signal was transmitted long ago, and whatever it was meant to awaken may already be on its way. The truth about the secret Saturn V launch remains one of the greatest cover-ups in human history. And as we prepare to return to the Moon and establish a permanent presence in space, one chilling question lingers. When the response to the Sentinel's signal finally arrives, will we be ready for what comes next? Or will we face something that has been watching and waiting for far longer than we ever imagined?